Good morning. So you're African. You talk about all the minerals you have. If you are from Sierra Leone, you talk about the diamonds, the gold, and even the coffee and some of the good things you have, the iron ore. If you are from Nigeria, you talk about the oil, Chad, oil. You look at every country. If you're from Ghana, you have cacao, Ivory Coast cacao. So Africa is pregnant, very much full of commodities. But you see, commodities by themselves do not make you rich. One of the ironies I found when I went to spend 4 years in Sierra Leone, my home country, is that anytime I need coffee, I'll go to the store and I'll see this coffee, very small amount of coffee in a bottle. Usually it's a Nescafe, either imported from England or France. Very, very expensive. The irony is Sierra Leone has coffee. Coffee is done. So all you need is to take that coffee, roast it, and pound it and drink. But no, the Europeans come to Sierra Leone and take the coffee beans, they process them. What's the processing? They simply roast them and grind them and send them back to Sierra Leone at 3 or 4 times the price. Iron ore, the same thing. We have one of the biggest deposits of iron ore in Sierra Leone, but we don't make any iron. So the Chinese and the other, countries come in, they take this iron ore, they process it into iron rods, and then sell it back to us. The story is the same everywhere. Oh yeah, mangoes are everywhere in Sierra Leone between March, April, May. They rot. So as I'm looking at Africa with all the talk, with all the resources, it is not the resources. It is the knowledge and the manpower to process these resources. If we could only process these resources, we can have a much, much, much better life because we'll have the money. I heard President Yoweri Museveni say the same thing when he was visiting Russia, that we have allowed these people, the Europeans and, people overseas, to take our resources, turn them into finished goods, and become very rich. What's ironic is many of us Africans, went to school, came to school, some of us here in America, some in Europe. Some of us, could really make this process. But what Africa lacks is not just the manpower. We do have manpower. We need electricity. You need electricity, and that could be generated. For instance, in Sierra Leone, we have a very powerful dam, Bumbuna. This process has been going on, forever. And still, we don't have enough electricity. So what we African think tanks need to do is to sit down and find a way of making our materials to finished products. This story has been going on for years. The Europeans have become very wealthy because they simply take our own goods and turn them into finished goods. If I say that Germany makes more money on coffee than Ghana or some of these countries, even though they do not grow coffee or chocolate. You have all this cacao grain in West Africa. Yet if you try to buy chocolate in Accra or Ivory Coast or any of these countries, it's very expensive because they take the cacao overseas and finish it into product. So my appeal to all of us Africans is to find a way of making finished goods. We cannot keep importing. The other thing I find, we are so much into importing. We want to import everything. Oh yeah, I mean, you go to West Africa, oh yeah, the Chinese goods, the Chinese shoes. And I'm not blaming the Chinese, they're business people. But many times the goods that are sent there are extremely cheap. I remember buying a pair of slippers down in Freetown, and I didn't walk. I mean, I just decided to take a walk. The thing just flip off, you know, because, and I don't blame the Chinese either, because the buying power, you know, the monies like the Sierra Leone, $50 is 1 million leones. So when your money, your currency is not that strong, the people selling product, they sell the cheap products. So Africans, please stop boasting about, we have all the goods, we're a rich country. No, you are poor. Your goods are no good until they become finished goods. And guess what? When you have money, you don't even need to worry about commodities. Here in America, we have the best banana. We have the best cassava. We have everything because of the money. You know, we can import anything. So I just want us Africans to stop the talking, do the finished goods. Find a way of making turning cacao into chocolate. Find a way of just grinding your coffee and drinking it. It's even stronger than the finished coffee from overseas. Find a way of making mango juice from all those mangoes that are rotting in the street. Let's find a way. Let's stop talking. All this intellectual doctor, this professor, this is of no use if we cannot even feed ourselves. Okay, guys? It's not a sermon. This is just an observation. And I'm guilty like every one of you because we just like to boast about Africa being rich. No, we are not. We are very poor because we are not putting our resources into good use. Okay? Jacob Conte. Picture is not that clear, but I'm just sitting in my car, just wondering what to say to my fellow Africans. Ciao. Have a blessed day.